Okay, Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Today we will continue with our topic factors of polynomials. Okay, but for today we are going to do solving cubic equations. Okay, solving cubic equations. We have learned in semester 1 solving quadratic equations, and now after we have learned a little bit more on polynomials, we will learn how to solve cubic equations. So the word cubic here means power of 3. The highest power of your equation for your variable is 3. Okay, but before that, we will do a little bit of recalling. Okay, let's look at a quadratic equation. We have learned if we have roots alpha and beta, okay, and then we use this to form equation, it will be x minus alpha times x minus beta, okay, in which when you expand all the brackets here, okay, you will get x squared minus alpha x minus beta x plus alpha times beta. Okay, and I simplify, it will be x squared minus alpha plus beta x plus. Okay, and you can see here, since the roots is alpha and beta, in the middle here is actually, if you still remember, sum of roots. And at the back here, which is alpha times beta, is the product of roots. Okay, when you multiply the roots, it will be at the back of your quadratic equation. Okay, now let's look at cubic equation. Okay, now let's say the roots for a quadratic equation is alpha, beta, and gamma. Okay, so that means the factors of the cubic equations will be x minus alpha, x minus beta, and x minus gamma. Okay, and so the equations will be, we have to expand the factors here. Okay, start by these two, which is, we already know from the quadratic equation, it will become x squared minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha times beta. So all of these will have to be multiplied by x minus gamma. Okay, so to do this, you multiply one by one. X squared times x, alpha plus beta x times x, alpha beta times x, and same goes to the next term. Okay, so we expand here. X squared times x is x cubed, and then negative alpha plus beta x squared plus alpha beta x, and then x squared times negative gamma, so become negative gamma x squared, negative alpha plus beta gamma x, and plus, not plus, it's minus alpha beta and gamma. Now we look for the like terms. You can see here there's x squared here and x squared here, and then x here and x here. Okay, so it will be x cubed for x squared negative alpha plus beta plus gamma x squared, because the minus here become minus outside, and then for the x only will become plus alpha beta minus alpha gamma minus beta gamma x. Oh, it's a plus actually, plus. Okay, minus alpha beta gamma. Okay, so what I want you to see here is actually the last term over here. Okay, so the last term over here is also actually the product of roots. Okay, since it is alpha times beta times gamma, the roots over here. Okay, so in the cubic equations, the constant term, which is this term, the constant term without any variable, is the product of roots. Okay, so we will use that value to try and solve. Alright, let's look at the example. Solve for x, where the x cubed minus x squared minus 17x minus 15 equals to 0. So remember, when it says solve for x, it actually wants you to find the value of x. Okay, that means you have to solve this cubic equation. Okay, remember that the key important thing is this one. Okay, the constant term of your cubic equation. So this one have x cubed, this one have x squared, this one have x, and this one without any variable. So it is the constant. So that means 15 is the product of roots. Now let's think, what is the number? What three numbers when you multiply you will get 15? Okay, so we break down the factors of 15. It is 1, 3, 5, and 15. Okay, so from this value, it can actually be positive and negative, right? Okay, so we have to try to find the first root from these possible values of possible factors. Okay, so let's try with positive 1. So I write, if x equals to 1, okay, substitute this value of 1 into your cubic equation. So it will be 1 cubed minus 1 square minus 17 times 1 minus 15. So what you will get is 1 minus 1 is 0. You will get negative 32, which is not equal to 0, right? So x equals to 1 is not a root. Okay, now try x equals to negative 1. Okay, again we substitute negative 1 cubed minus negative 1 square minus 17 times negative 1 minus 15. Okay, so you will get negative 1 minus 1 plus 17 minus 15, which is equals to 0. So that means x equals to negative 1 is the root for this cubic equation. So our factor will be x plus 1, right? Okay, that means we have found the first factor for this cubic equation. Okay, so done the first step. First step, which is find the first factor. Okay, by looking at this and trial. Okay, the second step is you have to do a long division. Okay, that is divide your cubic polynomial or your cubic equation with the first factor. Okay, so let's do this one. Your cubic equation is x cubed minus x squared minus 17x minus 15. So we have to divide by our first factor, which is x plus 1. Okay, so you still remember long division, right? So x, to become x cubed, we have to multiply by x squared. So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 1 is positive x squared. So bracket minus x cubed minus x cubed 0. Negative x squared minus positive x squared, you will get negative 2x squared. Okay, minus 17x. Okay, negative 2x squared minus 17x. So we have to multiply by negative 2x. Okay, negative 2x times x, you will get negative 2x squared. Negative 2x times 1, negative 2x. So again, minus. Okay, negative 2x squared minus negative 2x squared is 0. Negative 17x minus minus will become plus 2x. So you will have negative 15x minus 15. So x to become negative 15x, you have to multiply by negative 15. So negative 15 times x, negative 15x, this one times this x, and then negative 15 times 1, negative 15, in which if you minus 0, no remainder. Okay, so how can we write this? It will become x cubed minus x squared minus 17x minus 15 is actually x plus 1, your divisor, times your quotient, which is x squared minus 2x minus 15. Okay, so what do we do from here? We need to completely factorize the cubic equation. So we have the first factor, and then when we do the long division, we got the quotient as a quadratic equation. So what do we do with quadratic equation? How do we solve quadratic equation? Okay, so you have to factorize quotient. Okay, how do you factorize quotient? Simple. You can use butterfly, or if you are comfortable with completing the square or formula, you can use that. Okay, so I show you using butterfly. X squared minus 15 minus 2x. So x squared is x times x, and 15 is 5 times 3. Okay, so x times 3, 3x, x times 5, 5x. So to get negative 2x, negative 5 will be negative, this will be positive. So that means it is x minus 5, x plus 3. So we have managed this one. Okay, is now become x plus 1, and the quadratic is x minus 5, x plus 3. Okay, this one equal to 0, which means the roots or the value of x is x equals to negative 1, x equals to 5, and x equals to negative 3. Now I will show you from the tutorial question. Okay, we'll start with A. So for A, the cubic is x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6 equals to 0. So first of all, 6. Okay, what are the possible factors of 6? 1, 2, 3, and 6. Okay, so maybe I would like to try 1 first. Okay, so we substitute for x equals to 1. It will become 1 cubed minus 6 times 1 square plus 11 times 1 minus 6. Okay, so this one is equal to 1 minus 6 is negative 5. Negative 5 plus 11 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. Bingo! Okay, so we get the first factor, which is the first root, which is x equals to 1. That means the first factor will be x minus 1. Okay, so we already got the first factor. Okay, next, what do we do? Yes, we do long division. Long division of your cubic equation dividing with the first factor. So x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6, we will divide by x plus 1, our first, x minus 1, our first factor. Okay, so again, from x, we want it to become x cubed, we have to multiply by x squared. So x squared times x will be x cubed. And then x squared times negative 1, negative x squared. Okay, so before you minus, don't forget the bracket. So x cubed minus x cubed is 0. Negative 6x squared minus minus will be plus x squared, will become negative 5x squared. Okay, bring down 11, so plus 11x. Okay, now negative 5x squared. X to become negative 5x squared, you have to multiply by negative 5x. So negative 5x times x, negative 5x squared. Negative 5x times negative 1, positive 5x. Okay, bracket minus. So negative 5x squared minus 5x squared, 0, 11, x minus 5x. So 6x minus 6. So 6x, x to become 6x, we have to multiply by positive 6. So 6 times x, 6x, 6 times negative 1, negative 6. Okay, minus 0, 0. So we have x minus 1 times x squared minus 5x plus 6. Okay, so now we have the quadratic equation. So from the quadratic equation, we can factorize. Okay, again I use this one, we already find, so we have to factorize quadratic equation. So I use again the butterfly, x squared 6 negative 5x. So x squared is x times x. So for 6 it can be 2 and 3. Okay, 2 and 3. And then x times 3 is 3x. X times 2 is 2x to become negative 5x. Both have to be negative. And negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. So we have here x minus 2 and x minus 3. So that means our cubic equation will be x minus 1 times x minus 2 times x minus 3 equals to 0, which means x equals to 1, x equals to 2, x equals to 3. Okay, now for question 17. Okay, so this one is a little bit different because your cubic, the term with the x power of 3 have a coefficient, okay, that is more than 1. Okay, so for a here, I show you, since it is 2x cubed minus 6x squared minus 8x plus 24, Okay, we cannot directly take factor of 24. What we have to do first is factorize the coefficient. So since it is 2, I put 2 outside. So 2x cubed become x cubed only. 6x squared become 3x squared. Negative 8x become negative 4x. And 24 becomes 12. Okay, equal to 0. Okay, and then from here on, if we move 2 to the other side, 0 will be divided by 2. So it will only be x cubed minus 3x squared minus 4x plus 12 equal to 0. So now we can try and find factors of 12. So what are the factors of 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And please do remember, we can also take into consideration positive. We must take into consideration positive and negative. Okay. So again, let's start with the most basic number. Maybe I would like to try 2 now. So x equals to 2. So 2 cube minus 3 times 2 square minus 4 times 2 plus 12. Okay, which is 8 minus 3 times 4 is 12 minus 8 plus 12. Oh, bingo. This is equal to 0. That means x equals to 2 is a root. And the factor will be x minus 2 as your first factor. Okay. Next, what do we do? Yes, we have to do long division. So x cubed minus 3x squared minus 4x plus 12 divide by x minus 2. Okay, so x to become x cubed times x squared. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 2, negative 2x squared. Okay, minus, so x cubed minus x cubed is 0. Negative 3x squared minus and minus, so plus 2x squared become negative x squared only. Bring down negative 4x. Okay, so x to become negative x squared, we have to start with negative x. So negative x times x is negative x squared. Negative x times negative 2, positive 2x. Okay, bracket minus negative x squared minus negative x squared is 0. Negative 4x minus 2x will come negative 6x. Okay, bring down positive 12. So x to become negative 6x, we have to multiply by negative 6. So negative 6 times x, negative 6x. Negative 6 times negative 2, positive 12. Bracket minus. So 0 and 0. So now we have x minus 2 and the quotient x squared minus x minus 6. Okay, so this is your quotient. Oops. You have to factorize. Okay, x squared here, negative 6 and negative x. So x squared is x times x. 6. So 6 can be 6 times 1. Okay, x times 1 is x. X times 6 is 6x. So 6x and x. So we have, do the butterfly, x squared, negative 6 and negative x. So x squared is x times x. Negative 6, probably 3 times 2. Okay, So x times 2 is 2x, x times 3 is 3x. So 3x and 2x to become negative x, negative should be with negative 3. It should be with 3x. So here negative and next one positive. So we have x minus 3 and x plus 2. Okay, now to solve the cubic means you have to find all the values of x. So we put here x minus 2 times x minus 3 times x plus 2 equal to 0. So x equals to 2, x equals to 3, x equals to negative 2. And you are done. Okay, so x, the first factor, second, and the third. Okay, so that is all for solving cubic equation. So I want you to try and finish up question number 16 and 17. In our Zoom class, we will discuss the answer for question 16 and 17. So make sure you try it beforehand. Okay, that is all. Thank you everyone.